What is up, guys? This is Marty McFly bringing you guys the merch. Today, we're going to talk about a couple new vinyl pickups. I just got back from Savannah, Georgia. There's some great record stores out there. By the time this video is passed, you'll have already celebrated St. Patty's Day, so I hope everyone wore something green. I hope everyone got to have some Guinness. I know I did. Right now in the background, we have playing none other than Entombed with Left Hand Path. This is in honor of passing of Lgpetrov, the infamous frontman for Entombed, Entombed AD, Morbid, and many other bands that he was in. We wish him nothing but rest in power, and we'll see you on the other side, man. Rest in power. So today we're going to talk about a couple CDs, a couple vinyl pickups, some record stores we got over here. Got a couple surprises hanging out at the end. Hope you guys are ready. So, something that was in my circulation recently was the re-release of the In Dying Arms self-titled album. You can actually pick this up pretty cheap off their record label. This was like $5. I think with a couple of the CDs I got and free shipping, they were having a big sale off their record label. It was a little bit interesting because at this point, several of the bandmates had already changed by the time this was released. Or re-release, should I say, and they basically just made a really clean sounding recording quality. They changed up a couple things, especially if you listen to May I Have This Dance, Losing My Grip, Delusions. They changed up some of the mid-sections of the song. Some of them were really good. And then, Christian, got a chance to meet him up in Erie, Pennsylvania. He's the lead guitarist and clean vocalist for them at that point in time. He changed up a couple of the vocals, which, some of them were good. Some of them I was like, we could have left that alone. But overall, I think it was a great album. And then at the very end, song number 11, you have Cold Skin, which is starring no one other than Ryan Kirby of Fit for a King, and I think it's a fantastic track. I'm so glad we got a new song on that re-release. It looks like the band is still going, and they announced a breakup a while back, but they're back together. It's supposed to be releasing an EP this year. I talked to the lead singer a little while back. He's an awesome guy. He's always on Facebook. He's always talking about new stuff. The last couple songs have been fantastic. They released one just recently. It's a fantastic new track. Definitely check it out. Off the same record label, they were having a big sale right around Christmas time and Black Friday and all that good stuff. So this is Invent Animate. This is one of their earliest records with Still World. Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't even describe this. This is like a little bit of prog, a little bit of hardcore, a little bit of maybe even like OO's Trust Kill record era music. It's fantastic. Definitely give it a shot. I wish I could explain it better, but they're doing a lot of prog now. You can hear a little bit of Born of Osiris mixture in there, but just great guitar work. I love what they've been doing. Also in my circulation is Hell Within. This is Asylum of the Wicked. This is going way back into their discography. If so old, you can still see the Parental Virus here stick on there. This is a little bit of like just good old OO's hardcore, coming metalcore, coming out of like that Trust Kill Records era as well. Notable songs on here, especially. Asylum of the Human Predator is the first song I ever heard from them. Their lead singer actually ended up leaving to go join the Autumn Offering after he left Hell Within. This is how far back we're going. So if you don't know the Autumn Offering, it's another kind of like metalcore band. I fell in love with those guys. They released 5 records. Sadly, they broke up. But overall, Hell Within, a little bit of deathcore, a lot of metalcore, a lot of clean vocals, fantastic record. And I have been known to like a little bit of pop punk every now and again. What can I say? I just enjoy it. This is Boys of Fall with Distance. Best way I could explain it, take A Day to Remember, take Blink-182, and take, City Lights from Columbus, Ohio, and just blend it all together in a big old blender. That's what you get. It's going to be pop, it's going to be punk, you're going to have a little bit of like teenage emo angst coming out, but they released the record right around my birthday, and they actually signed it for me too, so I was pretty happy to pick that up. That's been in my circulation a lot. And last but not least, we have one of my favorite bands of all time. We have Heaven Shall Burn. I don't know why I haven't opened this yet. I accidentally bought 2 copies of it last year, but this is the deluxe edition. This comes with a bonus live DVD. We got some bonus tracks on there. Absolutely fantastic. If you haven't had an opportunity to listen to this yet, listen to it. This is probably Heaven Shall Burn's best album since, and I don't even want to put it out there because I've loved all their records. There isn't a single album from them I don't like. But maybe since Iconoclast, and I feel bad saying that because all their albums so far have been fantastic. One of my favorite songs in the last couple years from them was Godiva. Anyway, if you haven't had to check out this has got everything. This has got everything you could ever imagine you'd ever want from Heaven Shall Burn. You got anger, you got melody, you got one cool kind of electronic song that they always love to put on their records. You got 19 tracks. It's basically a double record. Came out last year. The ending to this album, Weakness Leaving My Heart, is one of the best endings I think they've ever had to a record. I'm not a big fan of just slow acoustic song endings. It's just not my thing. Kind of like how they did the new Architects record. I don't like those endings personally, but I love what they did. It's a really long song, and with the way they ended this record, I think is fantastic. Notable songs, though, you got Protector, you got Thoughts and Prayers, March of Retribution, which sounds like it was just came off of Iconoclast. My Heart in the Ocean, which has actually got a fantastic music video, especially if you're reading anything about like oceanography and protecting sea life and things like that. You got Turpits, Critical Mass, Sorrows of Victory, and then a really cool song, Expatriate. It's got a lot of meaning to it, especially if you know anything about like German history and things like that. Fantastic track, definitely a Heaven Shall Burn track. And then at Sound Exchange of Pinellas, I found this gem. This is In Battle by Heaven Shall Burn. This is their original EP, obviously a re-release, but it came out with some bonus tracks and some demos. I think this re-release sounds a lot cleaner, and what they're able to do with it. I like the cover too. I think it's fantastic. This is kind of in the same vein as when they did the split EPs with Caliban. There's 2 splits with Caliban actually, but I actually really like what they did with this. If you're able to get a hold of this or any of their old stuff, especially like Asunder, which is like impossible to find nowadays, get your hands on it. So, wanted to go over some vinyl. And when I was in Savannah, Georgia, there's a record store. There's 2 record stores. One of them was Roadie's Records. It's a little bit more of a head shop. They have a lot of jazz, country, things like that. But my favorite record store in Savannah is called Graveface Records. And this is Modern Life is War. I'm going to go pick this up for you guys. It's got a picture of Marshalltown on there. But this is Witness by Modern Life is War. Best way I can explain this, it's a lot of like black punk, a lot of hardcore, kind of if you're going off of like Incendiary, mixture of like a little bit of Madball, a little bit of Hatebreed. But then you got a lot of Poison the Well, a lot of Converge influences. I love what they did with it. One of the big bonuses to getting this, actually, I didn't even realize when I was buying it, it's only $20, but they give you this big, big pamphlet. I mean, it's got liner notes, it's got photos, it's got everything. It's really cool to just dig through it while you're listening to it. It kind of gives you a really good vibe of what you're listening to. And I think it was a really big bonus, especially getting this record. We got a nice gatefold here. Best way I can explain it, though, yeah, I mean, if you're looking at like a little bit of Incendiary, maybe a little bit of Converge influences, and it comes on a gorgeous clear splatter vinyl, a little bit of black, a little bit of white. It's a custom gatefold. And I wanted to make sure I at least did a review on this because I picked it up and I didn't get a chance to review it. But E1 Records, E1 Heavy, re-released The Age of Hell by Chimaira. And what can I say? It sounds great on vinyl. I was always curious what this album would have sounded like on vinyl. Right around this time, Chimaira's making some changes. They already had some new guys in the band. Rob Arnold was still singing. Jim LaMarca, Chris Spicuzza, and Matt DeVries. You already started noticing some changes within the band. You still had Mark Hunter. You still had Rob Arnold. But overall, the band had started making some changes around then. I think it's still a fantastic record. I don't know what people are always bitching and complaining about, but I think it's a fantastic record from Chimaira. This was still very much them. They even had kind of like a harmony, melody, soft track on there, and I think it was expertly done. I mean, Mark's a heck of a good singer. So if you kind of go through it in the big circle, you go through all of the song tracks are in a big circle. There's a song on there called Beyond the Grave. It's it's just a purely melodic song. It's just expertly written and really well sung. I was really glad the way they did it. The vinyl, however, I think is a special treat. Look at that. So we got this orange, cream, and white swirl vinyl. Nice custom center rings. And of course, disc 2, will be the same. But I really like those custom center rings. I love what they did with those colors. Kind of takes me back to like the old Chimaira days. So overall, it sounds fantastic, especially on a record player. Eventually, I want to save up and start looking at new record players whenever things calm down and I start being able to settle in a little bit more. What I'm reading right now, I don't know if you guys are into comics out there, but every once in a while I like to pick up a graphic novel, whatever. It's just something nice to read, clear the brain, clean out the cobwebs. This is Something is Killing the Children. I read this last year, right around the hype started up about it. I was like, well, the title is brutal. Especially with a title like that. I mean, good grief. I mean, it's got to be good, though. It's got to be horror, right? So, it's actually a pretty good graphic novel. I love what they did with it. The pictures are just so... They leave so much ominous to it, especially when you have, like, the monsters coming out and you can only partially see them. Just leaves us a little bit of mystery, but it's literally what it sounds like. Something is killing the children. And they don't spare on the gore. There's, like, half-eaten children and stuff like that. Overall, very well done. I love the pictures. I read it really quickly. You can get through it instantaneously. There's several volumes out now. I think the first copy, if you want the first press, is already up in the hundreds of dollars. And yeah, I don't care about gradings and all that stuff, but it'd be kind of cool to have the first edition of this one. So that's kind of where I'm at for right now. I got 2 more videos coming out for you guys. And the big surprise, though, is the box I just got in this week, and that is none other than Demon Hunter with Songs of Death and Resurrection. That is basically a bunch of tracks from Demon Hunter, and they redid it to make them slightly acoustic. They have violins, they have a female backup vocalist, basically just redid these songs, and it's absolutely beautiful so far. I cheated a little bit before opening the vinyl and just flipped it up on Amazon Music. It's wonderful, and I can't wait to review it for you guys. I think I'm going to do one more video. I'm kind of curious on your thoughts. When I graduated with my master's, my brother basically just sent me a giant box of tapes. And when I graduated med school, he sent me a giant box of vinyl. And I'm talking first press vinyls of Halloween, Black Sabbath. Kind of curious on your thoughts. Go ahead and give me a shout. I would love to review these, make some future videos in the future, okay? And as we say down here in the metal world, horns up. See you guys soon.